What would you do if someone you trusted, someone who once lived in your home, suddenly walked away with your belongings? Your phone, your family's jewelry, even personal items that meant something to you and your loved ones. Now imagine that when you confront them, they simply shrug and say, "I didn't take anything." That's exactly the situation that brought Sacha and her ex-boyfriend, Deandre, into the courtroom of Judge Judy. And as always, when people bring their drama into this courtroom, they better come with the truth. Because Judge Judy has a way of tearing apart lies faster than anyone expects. The case begins with Sacha stepping forward as the plaintiff. Her claim is simple but serious. She says that after she kicked Deandre out of her home, several of her belongings suddenly disappeared. According to Sacha, this wasn't just a misunderstanding or a misplaced item. She believes Deandre deliberately stole from her. Among the items she claims were taken were her cell phone, jewelry that belonged to her brother, and other personal property. To Sacha, this wasn't just about money. It was about trust being broken. She tells the court that she allowed Deandre into her life and into her home. At one point, they had a relationship, but things eventually went downhill. Arguments began happening more frequently. Tensions rose, and the relationship became unstable. Eventually, things reached a point where Sacha says she had enough. She told Deandre he needed to leave her home. And according to Sacha, that's when the real trouble started. She claims that shortly after he moved out, she noticed several things were missing. At first, she thought maybe she had misplaced them. But the more she looked, the clearer it became that these items were gone. Her cell phone was missing. Jewelry belonging to her brother had vanished. And other small personal belongings were nowhere to be found. Sacha tells Judge Judy that she believes Deandre took these items before leaving the house. In her mind, the timing was just too suspicious. But as soon as Deandre is given the chance to speak, he immediately denies everything. According to him, he did not steal anything from Sacha. Not the phone, not the jewelry, nothing. He claims that Sacha is simply blaming him because their relationship ended badly. And right away, the courtroom starts to feel tense. Judge Judy listens carefully as both sides begin explaining their versions of events. Sacha explains that when Deandre lived with her, she tried to help him. She gave him a place to stay and supported him during difficult times. But she says things started going wrong when Deandre began behaving irresponsibly. Arguments started happening more frequently. Trust began breaking down. Eventually, Sacha says she realized that the relationship simply wasn't working anymore. So she made the decision to kick him out of the house. From her perspective, that should have been the end of it. But instead, she believes Deandre left with some of her property. Deandre shakes his head while she speaks, clearly disagreeing. When Judge Judy turns to him, he sticks firmly to his story. He says he didn't steal anything. In fact, he claims that Sacha is exaggerating the situation and making accusations without proof. Judge Judy immediately begins asking questions. And anyone familiar with her courtroom knows that once she starts questioning someone, there's nowhere to hide. She asks Sacha how she knows Deandre took the items. Was there any proof? Did she see him take them? Did anyone else witness it? Sacha explains that she didn't physically see him take the items, but she insists that the timing makes it obvious. According to her, the items were there before he left and gone right after he moved out. Judge Judy raises an eyebrow. Because in court, suspicion is not the same thing as evidence. Just because something disappears doesn't automatically mean the last person in the house took it. But Sacha continues explaining her side. She says the missing items weren't random things. They included jewelry belonging to her brother, something that had both financial and emotional value. She also explains that her phone disappearing was especially frustrating because it contained personal information and contacts. To her, this wasn't just about money. It was about respect. Deandre listens but looks unimpressed. When Judge Judy turns back to him, he calmly repeats his position. He says he didn't take anything, and he believes Sacha is trying to make him look like a thief simply because they broke up. Judge Judy immediately focuses on the details. She asks Deandre exactly when he moved out. She asks what items he took with him. She asks if there were any witnesses. She even asks whether he had any reason to take the items. Deandre insists that he only took his own belongings. Nothing more. Nothing that belonged to Sacha, and nothing that belonged to her brother. At this point, Judge Judy starts doing what she does best, examining the logic of both stories. She explains that when people break up and one person moves out, accusations like this are extremely common. One person claims items were stolen, the other denies it, and often, there's very little proof either way. That's why the details matter. Judge Judy asks Sacha whether she filed a police report. She also asks if there were receipts, photos, or any documentation proving the missing items existed and were worth the amount she claims. Sacha does her best to explain, but the reality of courtroom rules begins to become clear. In order to win a case like this, accusations alone aren't enough. There needs to be evidence, something concrete, something that clearly proves the defendant took the items. Judge Judy continues pressing both sides. She asks Deandre whether he returned anything after leaving the house. He admits that he returned a couple of small items, but he insists those were things that had been accidentally mixed in with his belongings, not stolen, and definitely not taken intentionally. This detail catches Judge Judy's attention because when someone returns items, it sometimes suggests there was confusion during the move, but it doesn't automatically mean theft. Sacha insists that the important items were never returned, and that's why she decided to bring the case to court. Judge Judy explains that if someone claims property was stolen, they must show proof that the defendant actually took it, not just that the items disappeared, not just that the defendant was present, but proof connecting the defendant directly to the alleged theft. Sacha tries to explain again that the timing proves it, but Judge Judy calmly points out that timing alone isn't enough. For example, if someone moves out and items are later discovered missing, there are many possible explanations. Items could have been misplaced, someone else could have entered the home, or the items could have been lost long before the person moved out. Without evidence, the court cannot simply assume theft. Deandre nods as Judge Judy explains this. From his perspective, the accusations have been unfair. He insists he never stole anything, and he believes Sacha brought the case out of anger. Judge Judy pauses for a moment, reviewing everything she's heard. Then she delivers the part everyone in the courtroom has been waiting for, the ruling. She explains that while Sacha may genuinely believe Deandre took the items, belief is not the same as proof. Courts require evidence, and in this case, there simply isn't enough evidence to prove that Deandre stole the phone, the jewelry, or anything else. Because of that, Judge Judy rules in favor of the defendant. The case is dismissed. For Sacha, the decision is clearly disappointing. She feels certain about what happened, but in court, certainty isn't enough. Evidence is everything. For Deandre, the ruling is a relief. After being accused of theft, he walks away without being held financially responsible. And once again, the courtroom of Judge Judy demonstrates a powerful lesson. Emotions may run high, relationships may end badly, but when accusations turn into legal claims, the only thing that matters is proof. Judge Judy has seen thousands of cases just like this one. Former couples blaming each other, friends turning into enemies, people arguing over missing property after relationships fall apart. And in many of those cases, the truth is difficult to prove. That's why the legal system relies on evidence rather than assumptions. In the end, this case serves as a reminder that when relationships end, things can quickly become complicated. Trust disappears, anger takes over, and sometimes people start looking for someone to blame. But inside Judge Judy's courtroom, the rules remain simple. Bring proof, or don't expect to win. And that's exactly why people keep watching. Because when real-life drama meets sharp legal logic, the result is always unforgettable.